Video, I just wanted to quickly just jump on and just give a quick rundown of the pricing comparatives that I did in sort of coming to a final decision in terms of whether I was going to source the materials myself or whether it was going to be a mixture of, you know, sourcing the materials myself, having somebody else install it, or whether I was going to get it in a package deal. So as a baseline, I decided to have somebody from Carpet Court come out and just do up a quick quote and rundown of what we would be looking at in terms of cost for, you know, the supply of materials, the labor to install, and then the labor to install to uplift the tiles that were in the kitchen under the vinyl flooring. So as a baseline, Carpet Court was quoting about $4,500, and that apparently was at a discount. So as you would have seen earlier in the video, we did not end up going with Carpet Court. In fact, we had my mum's brother, Uncle Alex, come out and uplift the tiles. So cost wise, he was able to hire a jackhammer out for the day, and that was at a cost of $50. So there was already a $450 saving in having my mum's brother come out and uplift the tiles. Obviously, he had help later on from my dad and my mum's cousin Gilea, but the majority of the work, at least the first half of the day, Uncle Alex was doing that himself. So Deidre and I were helping to sort of get rid of the rubbish and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, $450 saving straight up by having my uncle sort of come out and do that. Obviously, in the interest of full disclosure, we did give Uncle Alex some money, but in saying that, there was definitely still a saving as opposed to going down the $500 route for uplifting the tiles. So the second option was to just get the materials myself and install them myself. And when I say myself, I don't mean just myself, as every Pacific Islander can attest to this. Myself does not involve just me. It involves, you know, brothers, parents, cousins, uncles, the whole gang just coming together when there is work to be done. So yeah, that was option two. So cost wise, just a quick digression. So we ended up going with an 8mm hybrid plank, and the closest thing that I could get as a comparison at Bunnings was a 7.5mm hybrid plank. So I ended up going with a hybrid plank in the end as opposed to a laminate plank. So as the name suggests, the hybrid plank offers the benefit of waterproofing that you would get with a vinyl flooring, and then it gives you the look of a laminate flooring. In fact, I think the hybrid plank looks more realistic and closer to a timber in the sense that it's kind of textured. And obviously the laminate sort of planks, they don't offer that waterproofing. So it was an easy decision in the end to go with a hybrid. Cost wise, you are going to be paying slightly more for the hybrid, but obviously in the long run, with waterproofing, it's probably just something that's going to give me more peace of mind, especially as I have tenants come through the place. So yeah, went with a hybrid in the end, and cost-wise at Bunnings, per pack of plank, they were going for about $114 per pack. And each pack gives you about 2.6 square meters of coverage. So that works out to be, it worked out to be about $43.85 in cost per square meter. So to get bang on 40 square meters, which is the total flooring, like floor space that we needed coverage for, cost wise, it would have come to $1,754, like to be bang on 40 square meters. Obviously, you don't just factor in just the exact square meterage of your space. You also need to factor in 10% wastage. So also, just quickly back to the Bunnings, to the carpet court quote. So $4,500, and given that that was the first quote that I had gotten, I definitely wanted to sleep on it, but I will, as a tip, just for anybody who does get a quote for anything in the future, I did notice with the carpet court guy, he mentioned at two different points in time during the quote, the fact that, you know, this was on sale. He tried really to push the urgency of making a decision. You know, he said once they sold out of their current stock levels, the price would go back to normal. And I would just caution anybody who is getting a quote not to sort of be intimidated by that or feel rushed by that. So yeah, I will say that just as a quick FYI. But anyway, quickly back to option 2 of installing the planks myself. I was actually here the morning of when the flooring was getting installed. That actual day, one of my friends from work was actually getting married in Montville. Yeah, so I was here the morning of when they were installing the planks. I left at about 9. The guys were here at about 7:15, and it took them about 10-15 minutes to bring all the materials up here, and not even before the other guys had finished, the guy had started installing the floorboards. So by the time I left at 9 a.m, he had already done this room that I'm currently sitting in right now. And, you know, just being witness to, like, you know, the precision required to sort of make the cuts for the obscure sort of places reminded me of why I ended up going with a professional, you know, with somebody professional to sort of do the job, and gave me peace of mind as to why I opted for that route. So yeah, total install time was about from 7:30 to between 5 and 6 is what my mum told me, because she was here toward the end. And so yeah, I'm probably going to sound like a negative Nelly, but if I was to do this myself, it probably might have taken twice as long, or maybe a day and a half to do. I think another big sort of factor for me choosing to go with the package deal that I went with was opportunity cost. So, you know, foregoing having a relaxing Saturday where I can choose to do whatever I want, as opposed to having a Saturday and maybe even a Sunday that'll be consumed by laying timber laminate flooring. And yeah, so it's probably a bad explanation. I don't know if I did that justice, but yeah, it's just foregoing one thing in order to do another thing, if that makes sense. Probably a bad explanation, but anyways, it's all about deciding what's best for your budget. Obviously, if your highest priority is saving money, it's definitely going to be more cost effective for you just to source the materials yourself and get people to help you install it, or just install it yourself. Obviously, you're gonna forgo a weekend or a day to install it. So, and I also wanted peace of mind knowing that people who do this day in, day out for a living were going to be installing this, and the chances of them getting it right obviously were going to be exponentially greater than me getting it right, you know, a first timer. So they're all the reasons for why I did not choose option 2. Option 3 was to source the materials myself and then get somebody to install it. So cost-wise, to supply the materials myself, so factoring in 10% waste for the timber planks, I'd say, let's just say $200 for the scotia and all the trim, plus the labor cost. So the guy that I got a quote for labor was quoting $20 per square meter. So that worked out to be about $800 for the installation, plus obviously the the 2 grand for the 2 grand, just over, let's say 2 grand for the materials, it pretty much came very close to the 3,000 that I ended up paying. So I decided in the end that I value my time outside of work, and I value not having to sort of stress about whether the trim I'm getting or the scotia that I'm getting is 100% correct. So cost-wise, peace of mind wise, it just made a lot more sense for me to go with the package deal that I got in the end. It was $3,083, and that was for the supply, obviously, of the hybrid floor planks, the installation, and then the supply of the scotia and the different kinds of trim. So I could have saved a little bit of money going with option 3, having the, supplying the materials myself and getting the laborer come out to install it. But like I said, I value my time outside of work, and I value not having to stress about whether the scotia that I'm getting is right, whether it's the correct size, whether the trim I'm getting is the correct size, whether the other trim I'm getting is the correct size. I would say worth every cent. I'm definitely very happy with the end result. But anyway, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Sorry to blabber on for so long, but have a great week, guys. Until next time, Yovai Lotatova and so forth.